just folding you through his lies.
Is that guy? You said he hated Brendan Schaub. He's not even a fighter, right?
Not anymore. He was a heavyweight fighter.
He doesn't even fight anymore.
He's a heavyweight fighter / Joe Rogan's friend.
But he's not relevant in the MMA world, right?
He is incredibly relevant. He is a big part of the MMA iceberg, if you will. He has his own MMA show. He has a large podcast with Callum that's sort of MMA based. It's very MMA based.
Is he liked? Is he not well liked?
He is rather despised by a very vigorous group of individuals. There's a subreddit for the Fighter and Kid, and over there, if you start reading some of the posts, you might think that somebody fell on their keyboard. You might not understand their language because they got their own. Yeah. You might be trogging
trogging the way to the Chili's, dog.
Yeah, you might be trogging along and not understand what they're talking about over there.
Everyone's taking truck walks.
Yeah,
I'm not lost. I'm lost.
Yeah, let me tell you what's up. Because what happened was Brendan Schaub, a married man, was asking this sort of MMA comedy podcast adjacent young lady who's got a show of her own with a couple other ladies. Yo, will you walk me to my truck? And she's wanting him to like go in the parking. He's trying to get this chick to go suck his dick in the parking lot. And so she goes on her show and she's like, yeah, there's this guy. He's like I don't want to get into specifics, but he's like an ex-MMA fighting podcast host. He's a big dumb Mexican.
His name
just a big galoot.
And he was trying to get me to walk him to his truck to, I don't know, work some stuff out in the front seat, I guess. And this is a married man, just so, again, not being specific. She calls him out, right? And so now, like those people have like made that part of the mythos. And the way they talk, Brendan Schaub trips over certain words and he says certain words in a very particular kind of way. So they mimic that and they incorporate that into every sentence that they write sometimes. So you'll have to like read it phonetically and try to hear his voice to understand what's being said.
Does he have an accent?
Shabanese.
They call it Shabanese. Yeah.
So
he doesn't have an accent. He just talks.
No, he has
CTE accent.
Yeah, it's CTE. Yeah. So that causes an accent.
So there was this time, I think, and I might butcher this a little bit. I think he challenged some people to like a sprint, and like he faked an injury to get out of his bet in the sprint, and he said he blew out both quads. and which I'm glad you laughed because you play sport. You know. Let me say this.
How'd you blow both out, buddy? Were you jumping? Were you leaping?
He was dunking.
You never blow both out, and blowing one out is an incredible injury. It's traumatic. It's a huge fucking deal.
Quad.
He had an NFL guy on his show later on after he told the lie and gotten through it and everything, and like got welched on his bet. He had an NFL guy on, and he was like, yeah. And this guy's talking about being a fucking gridiron warrior for real.
NFL
playing in the fucking NFL or whatever. And then he's like, yeah, I blew up both my quads. And this guy goes, what? He kind of makes a little face, like a little, huh? Like, what? like you could tell it caught him, but he didn't want to call Brendan.
Yeah, did you owe someone money? Because otherwise you didn't.
Well, he knew he was lying. He knew it's
but Taylor asked if Brendan Schaub is relevant or if he's liked. Yeah, I would say people love to hate him, right? People hate watch that guy and pay attention to him, and he's Nickelback. Okay,
yeah.
Well, but that's like in the world of fighting, it seems like that's not even a bad position to be in because it's like it's almost understood there are like heels, right?
It's better than irrelevant, but it's no fun. I think he wishes people liked him and he's trying, but. Oh my God! One little slip and
so they're not. Most people aren't. What you mean is like most people aren't even like hating him tongue in cheek.
He wants to be loved and he's hated. That's the situation.
So, what I've learned,
he wants to be relevant, serious. He wants to be thought of as a comedian and a journalist. He wants to be Joe Rogan. Yes. He wants to be Joe Rogan so goddamn bad. His comedy special is called what? The Last Gringo or something
Gringo
like
Poppy.
that. Gringo Poppy. It has been mocked and ridiculed by every comedian who's ever spoken about it. It's kind of like a running joke that it's the worst one ever made. And it's also a running joke that look, how did it get made, right? Like how did he get that special? Like what strings are being pulled for him, etc.
Who is it with? Like Netflix, like a real company?
I mean, no, it's with Showtime, and the second one was YouTube.
Yeah, it was a show.
I mean, those are real companies.
Taylor, it is humiliatingly bad.
It's pretty bad.
I don't think I couldn't watch it if it's that embarrassing.
I watch a lot of comedy.
You couldn't get that act on it at any like the comedy place I go to here in Atlanta. Like you would not be able to get on there. Like that place I went to see Josh Blue at. Like you wouldn't be able to get on stage with that. Like the least funny guy there that night was hilarious. Everybody makes you laugh. That's going on stage.
Can you guys
at a big comedy club?
Like
He's
Josh,
awful.
can you compare him to a comedian for me? Like, is there another comedian you could compare him to?
That's not an open micer, probably not, because it's a lot of like, hey, I'm dating a Latina girl. Haha, isn't that funny? And it's like, where's the joke in that? Like,
he just didn't include punchlines. That's people don't realize how important the punchline is.
Nobody knows.
No.
Yeah, nobody knows.
He tries to do some race humor.
It's the crux of it.
Yeah.
He tries to do some race humor and he pantomimes a little bit. And
any black people in the house? Any black people?
No, like Mexican jokes. He tries to fall into that sort of like, well, look,
Yeah, because I'd be like, Asian, you know how I am, man. I'm a UFC fighter, and I also go on a podcast, you know? Is that what
he needs to do is do what Mike Tyson. Have you ever seen Mike Tyson's one-man show on HBO when he's telling those stories and he's sweating profusely, like toweling himself off as he tells a powerful story? He tells his story. Taylor, it is art.
I love it. I like Mike Tyson.
Mike Tyson's one-man show. This is when he was chubby. This is before his most recent fights and stuff. Like this, he's not at his best. It looked like he needed the money, and that's why he was doing these shows. And it's what revived his career, in my opinion. I think that's what did it. He is on that mic, on the stage, like powerfully, laying this thing down. He's telling great stories, and he's funny. Mm-hmm. Mike Tyson is not a comedian, but he is funny because he's likable, and he's telling you about a funny thing that happened, and his viewpoint on that funny thing is funny. And because he's being honest about his viewpoint, it comes off as genuine and real, and you're like, oh man, that's how Mike sees things. That's hilarious. It is the opposite of everything Brendan Schaub is. It is the opposite. Everything he has is like this contrived. He's trying so
inorganic.
hard.
Yeah.
I'm in bizarre world because I saw Brendan Schaub tell a story of him losing a fight.
His first one's funny.
Okay, I'm not alone.
His first special is funny. His first special is genuinely it's rough. Don't get me wrong. He's a new comedian. So like it's not polished, but it's kind of funny. This fucking last one, I was just like, what? Are you okay?
Well, in any case, the man has his enough on his plate, walking people to the drugs and stuff.
Yeah, I've learned the internet likes to manipulate recently, and like you can see it in subreddits, like with Wings, all those people, DSP. There's so many lol cows that the internet is now taking it an extra step farther with and making devoted subreddits and devoted Kiwi farm posts and devoted 4chan, this, that, and the other thing. If not full Discords. And then they're now getting so dark and deep with it that they're finding people that are, retarded on TikTok, or people that are like level 1 or 2 autistics, and they're manipulating the entirety
wizards,
of their life.
Call them.
Yeah, into like saying fucking wild shit. And it's just like, I remember when internet trolling was kind of funny, not let's ruin a mentally disabled person's life.
Yeah, internet trolling should be funny. You shouldn't be like getting someone fired or like destroying their life or like causing problems for them at home. That's not trolling. That's just
have y'all seen this place? Have y'all seen This Place Rules on HBO?